Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and this is the 2-ingredient viral podcast hack that's lighting up the internet. Everybody's talking about it. So apparently now, the term viral is the new, completely meaningless, but absolutely mandatory word to include in every video title. There have been a lot of words that I think have been made meaningless on the internet. One of them is best. Any recipe you look at, I bet if you just Googled right now, barbecued ribs, probably over 50% of the recipe names will have the best barbecue rib, whatever variety, but the best in the title. And if you actually Googled the best barbecue ribs, there would be hundreds. And they're not all the same recipe, so how can they be the best? It's just become a term that people put onto video titles and web pages and recipes and things like that. And I'll admit, I've done that myself. I try to buffer it a little bit rather than just saying something is the best, because how do I know? I haven't tried everything, so I don't know that my recipe is the best. So I'll put generally like the best keto barbecue sauce I've ever made. That way I still get best in the title, but I'm still being honest. But this whole viral thing is just gotten out of control. Everything now seems to be some sort of viral 2-ingredient hack. The viral 2-ingredient keto breakfast that's taking the internet by storm. Bacon and eggs. The viral hack for bacon. Microwaving it. It's just, really, it's gotten so out of control, and I don't know what to do about this. I mean, I know that personally I do not have the power to really do anything about this besides whatever I do, within my own control. So I could either just put viral in the title of every one of my videos, just as sort of a parody of it all, or I don't know. I don't think I can start a revolution. I don't think I've got the persuasive power to convince everyone to just stop clicking on these viral clickbaity titles and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to know what you think. Is viral a thing? Does it even mean anything anymore? Or is it just clickbait? Let me know down in the comments below. Next, I've got a couple of topics that kind of segue into one another or overlap, and they're both related to having Dennis from Black Tie Kitchen on the show a couple of weeks ago. One of them was, I got a number of comments from people saying that they were unsubscribing to Dennis since he is shifting more towards low carb than keto. And, I get unsubscribe comments from people probably on a weekly basis. People will unsubscribe for some strange reasons. I had someone, when I did the podcast about a month ago, talking about profanity on YouTube, and I said, that's F-wording great, or something like that. I made a joke. I said F-word. I didn't say the F-word. I didn't say the word that rhymes with truck. I said the phrase that rhymes with deaf bird. So I didn't even actually say it, and it was a joke. And I know that most people got it, but there were a couple that didn't and actually took offense at me saying F-word because it implies the F-word. I've had people tell me that they're unsubscribing based on a shirt that I've worn, like the Swedish Chef shirt from the Muppets. It says Vert de Ferk, which, it's just a joke on him speaking Swedish and gibberish. But some people were offended. And I almost feel a little bit sorry for people like that. That sounded really Canadian when I just said that. Sorry. I feel a little bit sorry for those people, because if you're that easily offended, the internet must be just a dangerous, dangerous place. I think we could all just relax a little bit more about what we let offend us out on the internet, unless it's the use of the term viral. I think probably the pinnacle of weird reasons for people to unsubscribe to me is one of my videos. I mentioned that I track my daily weight in a spreadsheet, and that blows my mind. Someone says, the moment you said you track your weight in a spreadsheet, I unsubscribed. But anyhow, in terms of announcing that you're unsubscribing, I don't get that. To me, I feel like if I were at a restaurant and somebody, and if your name is Karen, please don't get offended. I'm going to use that term here. But some Karen asks to speak to the manager and says, I'm never coming here again because I didn't get enough parsley as a side, or something like that. It's something ridiculous, like the reason people unsubscribe to me, generally pretty ridiculous, I think. But making a big scene out of that. I think if any of us witnessed that, we would just roll our eyes and say, what a Karen. Anyhow, I realize now, probably a bunch of wonderful women out there named Karen are debating if they should unsubscribe to me because I used that pejorative. I apologize. It's become kind of a, common term. But telling me you're unsubscribing or announcing it within the comments to the general populace, I think that's just, I don't know, what is that? Is that a cry for attention? Look at me, I'm unsubscribing, I'm entitled, whatever. But I got a number of these comments about people unsubscribing to Dennis and his channel Black Tie Kitchen, and actually threatening me that they would unsubscribe to me if I ever quit keto. And first off, I don't take especially kindly to threats, but I will say that you don't have to be worried about me turning serious keto into a not keto channel. I love keto. I love being in a state of metabolic ketosis. It feels good. I love cooking keto, so I don't see that ever changing. But I don't know if I had any place else to go with this other than I would encourage you to keep watching Dennis and Black Tie Kitchen, because he is still going to keep doing low-carb recipes, and very often when he's done some of these higher carb things, he's talked about substitutions that you can make in order to turn this recipe lower carb or keto. So if you enjoy his channel, if you enjoy his sense of humor, don't let something like him moving a little further away from keto be a factor in stopping watching him. That could have been a lot smoother. So continuing on the topic from before the break, I have had a number of people ask me, I probably get this question once a week, maybe every other week, about other channels that were keto channels that have shifted away from keto. And I'm not going to name them all, but there's been a pretty significant number of channels that have shifted away from keto, and then asking me, am I going to shift away from keto, or why I think some of these channels shifted away from keto. And as I said before the break, I can't foresee myself shifting away from keto. Now, I know Dennis shifted away because he got some blood work back and didn't like the numbers. I'm assuming probably cholesterol numbers. And, I wasn't going to get into an argument with him on that and point him towards, I think it's Dave Feldman that's done all the research on that. I know it's Feldman, but I think it's Dave. And I can't really speak for anybody else, but I can tell you what I think it may be, or at least things that concern me from time to time. I think one of the things is either there is less interest in keto currently than there has been in the past, or keto is just, it's oversaturated. It's oversaturated with channels on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And as a result, we're all just getting smaller pieces of the pie. So it could be a situation where a channel feels the need to expand out further just for monetary reasons, because they're getting less views, which means they're getting less ad revenue, which means making less money. And this is not a hobby, for me at least anyway, and I think it's not a hobby for a lot of these other content creators. This is our income. This is how we pay our mortgage. This is how we buy food. So it may be necessary, I think, or perhaps some of these channels think it's necessary to expand their reach a little bit by not just going after the keto niche. I think also the more you are targeted on a niche, I think the more you're going to get people within the comments that are more dogmatic. I've talked about this a number of times on a number of different videos, but people that really start to treat keto as a religion, and they want to kind of police what you're doing in terms of your recipe, your ingredients. Is that keto? Is that not keto? Why are you microwaving something? Oh my gosh, you've got microplastics or whatever. I mean, I get everything. And I'm sure other cooking channels get that as well, but it's my belief that you get it in a more concentrated form when you are focused on sort of a niche way of eating, which keto is. I also have my suspicions that perhaps YouTube is pointing fewer people towards keto, that it's not the popular word in the algorithm that it once was. And I don't know why that is. I suspect that's the case. It could be because it's really trying to push people towards short form videos, which is why you get so many of these 2-ingredient viral hack type things, because that's what you can put into a minute-long video. So I think perhaps the prioritization of shorts, maybe the deprioritization of the word keto, these are all affecting the number of views that we get as content creators. And maybe that's why some of these channels are moving away from keto as their sole focus or their primary focus or their focus at all for their channel. But that is just conjecture on my part. One final topic related to the interview slash co-podcast that Dennis and I did a couple of weeks ago. He had talked about taking up running, and I'm pretty sure we talked about this. Either that or he talked about it in one of his videos, where he took the book or website or method of Couch to 5K, and he shared that with me, and I thought, you know what, this could be interesting because I don't really like running very much at all. And he said that the reason you don't like running is because you're not good at it, and you need to build it up as a skill, and then you will enjoy running. So I thought I'd give it a try, and I started the Couch to 5K program last week, and I'll keep you updated on that. It was great last week because we had temperatures in the upper 70s to even 80 degrees here in Wisconsin. So I was able to get out in the morning. I didn't need to wear gloves when I was running. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. Felt good. This morning, there was snow on the ground, and I believe it was 28 degrees. So today is not going to be a running day. I'm sorry if you are, again, I totally say that word like a Canadian. I'm sorry to any of the diehard runners out there that think I'm perhaps a little bit of a weakling for not going out in this weather, but it would be one thing if I were really passionate about running, but I'm not there yet. So I don't want to do something that is going to stymie my interest in running by going out and running in sleet and snow and horrible temperatures. So going to be kind of a fair weather runner as I ease into this. But I will definitely update you whether I felt it was worth my time or not in terms of changes in body mass, overall health, just how I feel. So look to hear more of that in maybe a month or so. For my final topic, I want to touch just very briefly on keto prices. The price of keto branded foods and products, whether they're at a store or on the internet. And I have talked about this before. In fact, I made a video on it. No, I've actually probably, you'd say I made two, because there was one where I did a review of the bread products from Alicia at Keto Upgrade. She had sent me some bread, and she had told me what all goes into creating a commercial bakery and the costs associated with it. And I did a video on that, but I also did a video on store products. And I'll link to both of those in the end card and hopefully not cover too much of that stuff in this segment. But the reason I don't generally talk about prices in keto reviews is because they're high. I get it. I've grown used to it, and I think most people who've been doing keto for a while have kind of gotten used to it. In fact, all prices seem high lately. Eggs, meat, etc. So I guess that kind of takes a little bit of the edge off the keto prices. But in those other videos, I talk about why I feel there's a premium price for keto. I also talk about looking holistically at price. For example, if I bought a box of regular cookies because it's all cheap, high burn rate sort of carbs, you can eat a bunch of them, or I can eat a bunch of them anyway. But if I have some keto cookies, I have a couple, and I'm satisfied. It's just they are more nutrient dense, and because it's a slower burning carbohydrate, you don't get that quick, I need more sort of addiction sensation. But in terms of mentioning prices in videos, that's pretty much going to be a situation where if I don't mention anything, you can pretty much assume there's a keto premium price involved. So the reason I bring this up is that I'm not trying to cover for companies when I don't mention price on videos. It's my assumption now that price is high on keto products, and it should be your assumption as well. It should not come as a shock to anybody that when you look at a keto product, you're paying twice as much as you would expect to pay for a non-keto version of that product. However, I will in videos, if things are even like more egregious than what we're used to in terms of keto prices, like really, really way out of whack, I'm going to mention that. Even if it's an affiliate marketing partner of mine, I'm going to mention it, because if I'm not going to spend money on it, I'm going to let you know. If I'm not going to buy a product, I'm going to let you know. So if I see something though that is priced really well, or there's a great deal on, I'm going to let you know that as well. So I just wanted to clear that up. That's the reason why I typically do not talk price in keto videos. But that is going to be it for this podcast. I've got some more exciting stuff coming this week, including a very special announcement this Wednesday. I've got another big product review this Thursday, more bread products. This is the last big one. I know I had said in a video that I was done doing big bread video reviews, and I recorded that line while I was recording this video. So I shot this video that's going to release on Thursday, or from your perspective, Thursday. I shot this probably 2 months ago. So it's a slightly older video that I didn't have the time to get edited and ready to release until this week. So that's coming out, and we're going to get back into cooking. I've been experimenting the last 2 weeks with a couple of different recipes I'm pretty excited about. So stay tuned. They're coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.